And hello, literally the only person who's watching us. You may recall last session was a whole bunch of wandering around down the coastway to try and make it to Waterdeep, traveling with, well, the Cult of the Dragon. And myriad other little bastards here and there. Tonight's beer, by the way, is Cock Island Bourbon Barrel Aged Russian Imperial Stout. Good stuff. You may also recall that our good man Billy Brewbuckle was working on a little thing called Demonic Liquor. And as night falls, the day of the fight with the Ettercaps and the giant spiders, the Wagoneers decide they're just gonna park it for the day, use that as a rest day. After all, they freaked out the horses. So it comes to evening, and well, ladies and gentlemen, you have liquor coming ready to drink. Yeah, we're just gonna fucking dive right in.
Oh boy.
Nothing could go wrong with this.
Absolutely nothing.
You're just sitting around your campfire, prepare for some loading lag.
So, how much of this do we actually have? Like, are we talking a shot for each member of the party, or...
He's made a decent barrel-sized quantity.
Oh, shit.
We're talking probably, if you drink it as shots, you're talking enough for, call it, at least 40 shots.
Oof.
Do I dare pour this in my drinking flagon / holy symbol?
Now, here's the thing. Either this is one of the greatest things ever, or we start using it as poison.
Mm.
That's how we weed out the weak.
You know what? Like any...
Hey, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Sounds good. You first.
Of course, it's my brew. Who else would have it first?
Jim Jones.
I'm
Look,
surprised he's not all
Not
over that, to be
entirely,
honest.
not entirely untrue.
Well, I've already decided that second glass I'm pouring is going over to Martin Luther. Why? Because I did.
So
Can you
I
please
do need
not?
to know, what kind of a measure are you pouring yourself? Are we talking, a shot to taste, or are we talking a glass? How much are we talking here?
To taste, I was going to go with a shot because I'm not entirely sure, and this is Ziggy saying this because I don't know jack shit about brewing, but I don't know how strong this actually is.
Well, you also have to bear in mind, even ignoring the notion of what it would come out as brewing-wise, and how strong something should be if you brewed it, if we were to ask, say, Donut's partner, who is a master brewer, what the brewing of demonic blood and viscera would produce, the result would be a slap upside your head, because that don't exist.
I'm sure people have made human blood wine. That's pretty close.
I don't think human blood comes from a lower plane. Regardless, so you're gonna go with a shot?
Yeah.
It does pour as a bright red, with the firelight flickering within it from the campfire, the light from that flickering off of something in the liquor. And it does smell quite potent.
So, off topic, because that got me interested. Blood wine is actually a thing.
I'm guessing I need a constitution save.
I am going to need a constitution save as the surprisingly sweet liquid burns down your tongue and your throat.
Alright. I just gotta check one thing. And this technically is a poison, so I would, as a dwarf, have advantage against it, I believe. But that's DM's discretion.
That I do believe. Let me just double check for the sake of argument. Yeah, I would say that. I would say it counts.
Okay. 24.
All right, you enjoy a nice burning shot of demon ichor liquor. Burns all the way through your body, and you swear just for this moment that it almost feels like your very bones are starting to shift and warp before everything just settles down into a smooth burn of alcohol, as though you had, I don't know, maybe 2 shots worth of scotch.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
My friend.
Give it a minute.
I'm waiting on Martin Luther to take his shot.
Do it.
Well, Jim Jones is already busting out flagons from the wagon and handing out targets. He's like, "Here you go. You're gonna get it in this."
Oh man. It goes against my better judgment, but I think I'll give it a shot.
Oh yeah, let's get the wizard.
I don't want to.
Martin
Y'all are
Luther is
gonna
trying
have
to
to force
refuse.
me.
Martin Luther is turning down his brew.
Oh, that's gonna come back to bite him.
Let's face it, we all know if I do this, I take 1 shot and I'm gonna be drunk as shit. I don't have good wolves.
Let's see here.
You know what?
Constitution.
In hindsight, that actually sounds hilarious. So it's
And I
Constitution.
do need to know
So-
what volume each person is drinking.
I'll
I'm
have a
good.
shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get a shot.
Jim
Oh,
will
fuck.
handle one of his many targets.
Going big.
Okay.
Holy shit! I actually won't high.
You know, you have much the same experience, and this might be the most rapid and anticlimactic consumption of a bizarre thing that the GM came up with ever seen.
All right. Remind me, do you need me to click the big number for my constitution or the little number for my constitution?
You
No,
want
saving
to
throw.
go a little bit over to the right to where it says saving throws, and click the Constitution in that box.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause
I
you
just clicked on.
actually
I
have
just clicked on regular Constitution.
I think for you it doesn't actually matter.
Let's see
Yes,
here.
because you don't have proficiency in Constitution saves.
Hold on. Damn it, where'd it go?
And how big is one of your glasses, Jim Jones?
Just your regular bar-sized target.
So you're going for the equivalent of 12 shots.
Holy shit!
Go big or go home.
Okay, we'll probably resolve you last. As we find out, is Thodrian taking any kind of a drink of this?
I'm trying to come up with a good acronym for it, but I'm going to be the demon director for this group. So I'm the DD.
You're the designated.
Ooh.
He's
Oh,
made
please.
society and has the butt taps at the ready.
He's the
Oh,
drunk
correct.
herder.
Walker.
This is
There you
like
go.
Walker
Designated
similarly
drunk
makes
herder.
it. Walker
Or
similarly
better
makes
yet,
it out just
designated
fine.
demon herder.
All right.
This is like a
If
game
y'all
of...
fail, Adrian has his reservations. He's like,
All right.
I ain't touching that shit.
So-
I ain't touching foul blood of any demon in my body.
So, Jim, are you just quaffing? Like, down the hatch? Or is this you're taking sips at a time?
Let's roll a wisdom check.
Oh, no.
Are you already drunk?
Disadvantage because I'm already drunk. Oh no, I downed it.
Okay,
This
so
is like a drinking game of Russian roulette.
okay, so we have your first roll that was at advantage. Now give me a second roll without advantage
Ooh.
on the Constitution save.
23.
Okay. Now give me a third roll at disadvantage.
Uh-oh.
Also, con
Still Constitution save.
8.
Ooh.
This is going to be hell.
Do my eyes fall out? That's the exposition fairy come for me.
Oh God.
Okay,
You know what,
I need to check.
Oh no. He needs to check something.
Okay, so I need you to roll me 2d6 2 times, because I need 2 separate 2d6 results. And
Oh,
while you're
no.
doing that, Jim Jones, as you start quaffing back the demon ichor liquor, and you start to feel your very bones shift and warp, and you start shaking and convulsing as the demon ichor liquor spills around you.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
And 7 and 10, eh?
Mm.
Oh, that actually works well with it. You actually crunch right through your your glass as glands grow inside of your mouth. You can just feel them swelling up right up against your sinuses, working their way down to your canines, which warp and grow out and begin to just weep a green liquid, and
Oh.
horns erupt from your forehead.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
As you
Hey,
lie
how-
on the ground convulsing.
Do we give him some of his shit or do we kick him? What?
Can I pray to a model for his safety?
That might get you killed.
I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna
Hey,
pray
look,
to a
I'm
model
just
for his
spewing
safety.
poltergeist. I'm just spewing poltergeist style with demon horn. All right, this is nothing to get excited about. Fill the glass up again.
Oh man.
Does a 14
Hold on.
do anything for this?
My
At least
first question is, Billy, are you letting him grab a fresh glass? As this horned, fanged Jim Jones starts stumbling towards you, quite a few ounces of your demon ichor liquor soaking into the ground around him.
Oh, that's a party foul. He's cut off.
God,
Yeah.
what's happening to the ground?
Oh,
This is a three-way tie between I want to see what happens versus two dwarves wanting to drink together and some very arguably bad things happening right in front of me. So I think that's going to have to be a wisdom save on whether or not I do.
At disadvantage because you've already taken a drink.
Like I said, does a 14 for a religion check do anything for praying to a model for his safety? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
You have no idea.
Okay.
You know, me and her break the bar fight.
Because the
And then-
gods
Oh my
don't
God.
really respond to
Never
religion
doubts
checks, as far as you
The
know.
guy who fucking continued tuberculosis.
Alright,
All
Thodria.
right.
All right.
Should I do advantage or should I do normal or disadvantage for that wisdom check?
You at disadvantage, and Thodrian, let's hear what you're thinking.
I walk over to Jim Jones and put my hand on his back and say, "You doing all right there?
Oh,
You're looking a little like my stepbrother. Well, I must say, your horns are kind of tiny compared to his."
Oh shit.
Jim Jones reaches up and rubs his forehead a little bit, finds the horn, follows it all the way up. Well, this is new.
Yep.
I did not have this moment ago.
There's nothing bad on you.
It will fix. Yes?
Billy, and just say, what the fuck what the fuck did you brew?
I call it.
We're going to try to persuade another glass out of Billy.
Who are you trying to persuade to drink to? Yourself?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm calling this brew.
Abyss Ale.
Piss ale?
Yeah.
I approve of it, but
So,
You-
Surgeon's gonna divine sense and see if anything's amiss with Jim Jones right now.
you mean other than the demonic appearance?
Hey, no judgment. Just want to make sure he's okay.
For all we know, he's turning into a tiefling.
Oh
You
God,
get-
kill it now!
You get no distinct. You get no
Yes.
distinct sense of evil off of Jim Jones. There does seem to be not necessarily evil, but kind of sort of a lingering bad vibe coming from his still moist beard and from where the liquor hit the ground. But nothing that really pings as out and out evil.
Okay, so it's more of a
Gray area.
transformation than of the body than the mind.
Yeah, I'm
And
tempted
the way he's starting
just-
to suck at his beard, you're pretty sure Jim Jones is still his normal self.
Nothing seems to have changed.
He's fine.
I'm tempted to grab what I can and just chuck it onto the file because I'm not entirely convinced this ale can be allowed to exist.
Hey,
No, I think I'll shove Martin Luther away from any access to the barrel because I'm curious. I'm going to take another shot of this. That seems okay.
Okay, I accidentally.
I'm just gonna look over.
And there's
Actually, before I just say that, I'm just going to go ahead and do a wisdom check.
If it is
No wisdom
or
checks.
evangelical angel or something like that, while the other guy's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Alright.
I'm just going to go ahead and do a wisdom check and see if that's even a good idea.
I don't know. Is it?
it's always a good idea.
Let's find out.
What do you think? Is it a good idea?
Well, let's see here. It's just low and just high enough that I'm kind of apprehensive, but still just curious enough.
The curiosity just barely.
If I'd had a 15 or more, I'd have been like, you know what, maybe I should cut this. But 10 to 15, it's one of those. It doesn't seem. I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it anyway because whatever reason.
I'm just gonna walk over to Thodri and just say, if anyone tries to pour this stuff down my throat, can you please stop them?
No problem. This
Alright.
is for
Thank you.
those of greater constitution.
Oh,
I sus-
17. Am I still good?
You're still good.
Damn.
So, no oral ingestion of the demonic liquor for Martin. That opens up a couple possibilities.
It does.
Lord.
What? What?
They're
No
just
suppositories
being horrible
either.
people.
Leave the young lad alone.
Yeah, you can be the lookout.
But as your resident demon driver, I must tell you, if you'll keep drinking this stuff, you'll probably end up like my stepbrother. And he's a tiefling. Nothing against tieflings, but I don't think anybody would want that. But if you're looking for a change of pace, by all means.
Speaking of which, are we even on the map? Because I'm still looking at a black screen, by the way.
God
I'm
damn it.
moving the
We're
camera.
around
man.
the campfire.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, nope. I found the problem with your token.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Yay! Ah, that adaptive lighting. You blinded me.
I
Now see
forgot to
everyone.
I forgot to click that you have sight.
Ah, so that wasn't a result of the demon ichor liquor.
No, you have not gone blind from the demon ichor liquor yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No comment.
That's probably one of the valid consequences of this. Alright, so who else is getting a drink?
It seems like nobody, because Jim Jones got turned down.
Hmm.
Much sad.
It's mostly because you said each shot is equivalent to shoot two shots of scotch. He essentially just drank 24 shots of scotch.
Well, he tried to. I think it was 3, maybe 4 of them actually went down his throat.
Yeah.
So,
And the rest of them ended up in his beard and on the ground.
I'm willing to suggest that maybe we can allow him to continue with this party if he drinks them in shots and not from anything bigger than that.
I will agree with that, seeing that's my brew.
This seems much reasonable as Jim Jones passes over his token. Please pour me small portion.
For a shot, I will give him another shot.
All right. You're still at disadvantage on the Constitution save.
9.
Can we stop
Give me another 2d6 as the hedonist cleric.
Stop him!
You're going to try to stop two dwarves from sharing drinks?
Yes, I am going to. I'm not even gonna make a
Oh,
wisdom
you
check.
lose
This is
another
a
Tarkin.
dumb decision.
Huh?
I'm
What?
not even going to make a wisdom
Can I
roll.
just
This is
eat
a dumb
another-
decision. I am going to try to grab the flask from him to keep him from drinking this.
Well, as you're moving your way around to grab the flask, Jim Jones, as he's lowering the flask and starting to extend it out towards Billy, convulses again, and now his hands start to warp into claws.
Oh,
The
Oh,
middle and
God.
ring
Oh,
fingers
yes.
merging together, and he just crushes the Tarkin in his claws, thus having destroyed his second in the same night.
Oh.
God.
As
This
he now
could
has claws,
have extra.
fangs, and horns.
Stop giving him the abyss ale.
Oh, come on. I want to see what happens on the next one.
No,
I say we go best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3.
I
Jack,
refuse.
You got to give him one more shot.
Martin,
That's what I'm thinking.
I
You can-
refuse.
Hey, no one else is going through this entire list, I'm sure Ian has of effects.
I
Let's have fun with
refuse.
Martin, do not interfere with this man worshipping his god.
If you hand him another flask of that, I will hit it out of your hands onto the ground.
and you're going to
That will
taste my shield
probably-
again.
That
Yeah.
is fine. I will accept that. I am
Ugh.
not gonna let Jim Jones turn into a fucking demon.
I cast
Hold
hope,
on.
Martin.
Wait, what?
He's suggesting that he's casting Hold Person on you.
What wisdom save does
I
he have to make?
a wisdom saving throw.
I'm glad you guys are taking PvP in stride.
Another shot for the Jim Jones.
Well,
So
I'm-
Martin Luther is just standing there in a very lecturing pose, glaring his eyes out at these two.
Oh, man.
The worst part is, if I'm lecturing, my mouth is probably open.
You had to give them ideas.
Yes.
Yep. Do it. Do it.
Do you think I'm pushing my nigh immortality?
Okay, let's
Oh,
see how
God.
bad this 2d6 goes. Oh, and if you get a duplicate, re-roll.
Oh, man.
Uh,
This is amazing.
That's
Nope,
a
already
duplicate.
used that.
Reroll. Which is no surprise because, you know,
11.
you're getting all the good ones.
Ooh.
Okay, so I was actually kind of hoping Walker would get this one, as
Oh.
I
you
am very
slurp
angry
down.
staring at the both of you.
You slurp down the shot, and as your body starts to warp, something seems to repulse out of you. And you
This
can
is real bad,
feel your hairs lifting up all across your body as energy starts crackling across you,
Oh.
creating a field enshrouding your entire body.
It's just humanity, isn't it?
The only seeming drawback of this is that, you know, anything near you starts to kind of gravitate towards you as if it's being pulled in by this energy, almost gravitationally.
Oh.
Even the flames of the fire kind of just waft towards you a little bit.
That is neat.
Oh no, he's a Super Saiyan.
Oh,
shit.
and by the way, I am going to require you to make a constitution check to, or not constitution, concentration check to see if you can maintain your hold person with all of these shots of demon ichor liquor in you.
Oh.
I am now staring in contempt and utter abject terror at what is happening.
I'm just looking at it, my barrel and his shot glass, then looking back up at Martin while he's still stuck.
Yes. By the way, can I have another one of those?
By all means, my friend.
You're gonna run out before you know it.
I'm going to
You said
stare
this would be like
Walker
40
in
shots a
utter
person.
No, I
I'm
said it was
doing
40.
shots.
I said it was about 40 shots total.
Oh,
Yeah.
40 shots total. Okay.
Now, mind you, this is only the 16th shot that Walker is taking.
I'm staring at Walker in utter hatred. Like, don't fucking do this.
I'm pouring another shot and say, "Here you go, Martin."
There we go.
No.
Force a constitution
Nope.
save on him.
No, if you guys are trying to actually force something into his mouth, a big fat shield goes in front of his face.
Yeah.
I'm
I
all
just
about
wanna-
y'all letting yourselves experiment, but don't go forcing others.
Right now,
Ah,
I'm just
okay.
like,
Oh, Adrian.
I'm just being that annoying little brother, just hovering the shot around his cheek.
And as
I'm
you're doing that,
staring
and
at
as Thodrian gets in his good little speech about, hey, I'm sorry, but I gotta defend his, bodily autonomy. That's when Jim Jones's concentration cracks and Martin Luther is able to scurry away from the shot in his face. And Walker, I'm going to need a 2d6 roll.
No, I'm not going
From
to scurry away. I'm not going to scurry away from it. I'm just going to slap it away from me.
so you need 2d6 rolls from me.
I want a roll of 2d6. Martin Luther, give me a d20 plus your dexterity, and Billy, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Hey,
Damn.
So, it will come up to 5.
so ends up being wow. That is the sloppiest slap that you've ever imagined pulling.
Shit.
Probably because you're a little desperate about it. But
Oh,
in
shit.
spite of that, you were. No, I didn't need two 2d6 rolls, Walker. I'm just taking your first one.
Oh, okay.
In spite of that,
Did
you're
it
still
duplicate
able
on
to
me again?
connect well enough to slosh the demon ichor liquor onto the ground.
Ooh, okay. I was scared for a moment, like, oh god, am I about to slap it into my mouth?
No, you beat him, so you got what you wanted. But since you both rolled so pathetically low, I had to give it a narrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
It duplicated the roll on me. That's what happened.
Well-
Makes sense. And
I can
Walker,
only imagine how bad this would burn if it got into someone's eye.
Oh, God.
I mean,
oh,
probably a lot.
I think I'd forego the roll and just pick something off the list if it got into someone's eye somehow.
Yeah.
Walker,
Not
on
with
your
any idea.
end, as this second shot, or is it third for you? I forget.
This is
at
3.
point. Whew.
This is the failure point.
You can feel, instead of before where it kind of rushed everywhere through your body, it seems to almost be going, it starts to go down your throat, but then it almost feels like, even as the liquid continues to travel down, the heat and the energy contained in it swarms up through the back of your throat and into your nasal cavities and into your brain and your skull. And you can just feel everything swelling.
That's not good.
And the people around you can visibly see your skull start to expand.
Oh. Why me? Why'd I have to push it?
Big brain time.
Oh, God. How much is it expanding?
It's
I
notable.
need to know the level of tail.
We're talking,
I ready my shield.
we're talking by the time it slows down. How many of you seen the movie Mars Attacks?
Oh no.
Oh,
When I was a child.
So it's not quite as exaggerated as that, but you're talking about the top and back of his skull has now expanded out to about an extra half of its original size.
Oh.
And you can just, Walker, you can just feel this low-grade pressure pulsing in your head constantly. So,
Shit.
we've hit a point
You
where I
know
feel
what?
like... Go ahead, Martin.
After seeing that, I need to erase this from my memory, and I need to get drunk.
Are you now taking a shot of the demon ichor liquor to save you?
Yes, I need to get drunk. After seeing that, I need to be drunk.
I will give
Go
this
for
one a
it.
shout out.
I see all these weird things going on with this drink that I don't want to drink, and so I must drink it to get it out of my head.
You know
Yeah.
what? I've seen Martin Luther's stats. This reasoning makes sense.
It really
Yeah, it
does.
does.
Martin gets drunk. We should go walk
That's
around.
the sad part. I'm technically playing within my character by making this horrible decision.
Oh my.
Yeah, with his wisdom, this actually really does kind of work. It's not a horrible wisdom, but it's a low enough... I've had to lower my expectations for the average human. This is about as wise as the average human would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Martin his shot, then I'm cutting people off because this is getting too much.
You're almost halfway through your batch at this point.
Oh.
You're gonna have to find more demons.
Is it a con save?
Yes, sir.
I'm terrified to look. Oh, thank God.
He's saying thank God, but I don't see a con save up there.
Yeah, same.
I don't see it either.
I see Martin Luther rolling D20 and a 2. That is
There it is.
anything
It
but-
finally
okay,
loaded.
There we go.
It finally loaded. And sadly for me, he makes his save.
Damn it. Well, we've taken...
Oh,
Take
you're
another
feeling...
shot.
With your constitution, you've had... Didn't you have a shot earlier? Like before we started
No.
seeing freaky shit going on?
Uh,
Yeah. No, that's the religion check. Yep, because you rolled an 18 on an earlier constitution save. So you're your lanky little guy, and you've had the equivalent of 4 shots of hard liquor in a span of a couple of minutes or less. You're feeling good.
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be drunk. I need to forget this.
Feeling
him
actually
another.
drunk is going to take a minute or two for the effects to kick in, unless you take shots so fast that you just black out.
I think that's his goal.
That is preferable, yes.
Thodrian, I'm assuming you're actually taking your time about the medicine check, so I'm just going to give it to you because it also gives me an avenue to pass out information about what's happened to each of the characters in terms of what this is going to mean mechanically for the next little while.
Yeah, I kind of need that.
Okay.
Until
if
the
he's-
effects wear off, Walker, you have, due to your swollen skull and brain, disadvantage on concentration checks and wisdom saving throws. But you have advantage on all knowledge-related checks and persuasion checks. You've essentially become Big Brain, the ADD guy.
Big brain.
I
Okay.
just see it as like the meme of Markiplier or something with the big brain.
Jim Jones, as I try to remember all of the correct ones you got. So from your claws, you cannot cast spells which have somatic components. But you gain the ability to make 2 claw attacks, which you are considered proficient with, using either strength or dexterity, and they deal 1d6 plus your strength or dexterity. It's got to be the same stat. Probably doesn't matter for you. Each.
Neat.
From your horns, you have disadvantage on persuasion checks, but you gain a gore attack. You can gore people with your forehead, dealing 2d... It's a strength-based attack, dealing 2d6 plus strength damage. And you can use it in conjunction with your claws.
Sweet.
From your fangs, as you may have guessed, you now have a bite attack. You cannot use this in conjunction with all of the other attacks.
We can't just let him maul everybody.
It uses...
What would be the point? What would wound be then?
It uses your dexterity and deals 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier poison damage. Targets have to make a constitution save of 10 plus your wisdom modifier, and on a failed check they take an additional 1d6 poison every round for 3 rounds on the start of your turn.
Okay, guys, let's go bite
Here's
something.
the disadvantage, because every one of these has a disadvantage.
Oh, man.
Anytime you roll a 1 on a physical check, say climbing, dancing, attacking, any physical activity that requires a check, and you roll a 1, you inflict poison damage on yourself equivalent to a successful attack.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn.
And you do
Don't
not,
roll
at
one.
this point, know how long it will last.
What about that 11 I rolled?
The spikes. What about the spikes?
We covered his horns already.
No, there's some kind of... Is
I
that
know
what that
that
was?
energy. The
That's
energy.
Yeah, the energy.
Oh, that's right. He's also got the fucking energy thing going on.
Yeah.
Wow, he has 5 things, not 4 things. I'm sorry, I lost track.
he turned into a porcupine. A very pissed off, poisonous, angry porcupine.
And no, that's not. Those aren't spikes. That's literally a field of energy wrapped around
okay.
him. So that decreases his armor class by 2 because everything's pulled in towards him. But every attack he makes deals an additional 1d6 force damage.
Ooh.
Let's go bite something.
Not your tongue.
Jim Jones, he thinks he has a great idea. I'm gonna wisdom check real quick.
I'm curious what kind of horns exactly Jim Jones has.
These
Like,
are
we talking
pretty.
IMAX horns?
These are pretty
Guys,
straight
we're
horns.
in the caravan of the bad guys. Let's go bite all the bad guys.
You got the good end of this deal.
Yeah, except when I roll a 1.
Speaking of bad guys, give me perception checks.
Crap.
And I would argue that Jim Jones and Martin Luther are at disadvantage on these checks.
Damn.
12.
So despite being drunk as fuck and about to pass out, and do you want me to roll that for you, Walker?
No, I
Never
think
mind.
it
It
went
looks
through.
like you just
Did it?
got it.
All right.
Oh
All right.
no.
So Walker Jim Jones and Thodrian are the first to notice, rustling around the edge of their camp. By the way, the majority of camp is like down and to the left from the map. You guys are in like the upper right corner of the map, of the camp as a whole. And if you look, for those of you who got better than a 10, to the right or up, you might notice what's been trying to slip closer and closer to you guys as you got into your drinking fun.
Oh.
It appears to be...
You get your wish.
Are those kobolds? And
They wouldn't.
drakes? And I'm not entirely sure what's in everyone's line of sight, so I can't quite say what all else might be visible to anyone.
I see.
I see 2 kobolds and something big that's mostly obscured.
I see a number of things, but I don't react to it because I got a friggin' 6. Alright. Initiative.
So I guess upon noticing the kobolds, Jim Jones excitedly screams, "Dinner!"
How did I get a 19?
Of course, it's not going to just give me this.
Nane, is this one of the enemies? Or...
No, that's your dragon.
Egg.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to click my figure before I rolled initiative.
First I get the demon in Icker Liquor, now I'll get the demon blood sword.
I teetered on that 17 for a minute.
And then it gave you a crappier number.
You know what? I need dragon blood ale.
Damn it. I wanted to send the result of this roll, but I apparently didn't select a valid token.
You did not have your token selected at the time?
Yeah, I did.
I guess not. Hold on.
I'm wondering if the
There we go.
benevolent overlord can just manually enter mine in.
I will take care of that once I'm done rolling everybody else's.
These big blazers, we eat him well tonight.
As my computer seems to lag a little bit for reasons unknown. Alright, Walker actually had a 12.
That I did.
And I see that... Was it Alucard who didn't get it on the, who needs it manually added? Jim Jones?
Yeah, he got an 18.
I really hope that whatever is lagging my computer stops soon. Alright, so it actually goes to something you guys don't see first.
Uh-oh. That can't be good.
Nothing can be good.
It is. I can't cast my spells.
A little bit of metagaming, but I think the sibling's coming for the unhatched sibling.
I blame the dog.
Game, stop lagging so badly. Flying over your heads, you see, well, a dragon. Roughly a Thodrian-sized dragon, maybe a little on the bigger side. Black in color, and does anybody speak Draconic?
I don't think I do. Let me check.
No.
Nope.
But we have a donor for my dragon blood ale.
Nope.
So it sounds like nobody can speak Draconic.
It probably is a lot of bad stuff.
only person I think might be... Okay, yep, you can't speak it. So never mind. Nobody can speak it. Oof. Poor Jim Jones. Most of his spells apparently contain somatic components.
Unfortunately, that's a lot of spells, and clerics are especially vulnerable to it due to the logic of them having to make like that air cross that they do.
He probably
You
actually
should.
wants to be close to there.
Hey, I can still cast command and prayer of
Oh
healing
no, by me.
and thaumaturgy.
So he is up in the air, mind you, not on the ground.
Want to give him a little icon so we know?
That's a good call. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? There we go. That'll... Airborne. That's what that means now. You know what? Probably the thing that looks the most threatening to him right now is, in fact, Jim Jones. So as he's flying along, yelling in some language none of you understand, I'm going to need Jim Jones to give me a dexterity saving throw. Because you're the only one in reach from where he's firing.
Do. Critical fail.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
One, and he,
And that-
oh shit!
I think I
He
just
takes
got
damage from himself.
So,
What
let's
do you
see.
I said, what were you saying about one?
Oh.
We need butt tap stat.
I feel like between that and the fact that you have the like polarity thing going on right now, pulling everything into you, just like literally sucking all the acid.
Oh.
There's a 15-foot line. It's just all you.
So-
man.
So there is one sense in which this isn't so bad. Oh my God! Did that send to just me or to all of you?
That was all of us.
So there's one sense in which... Okay, why the hell? Okay, well, let me click there. Oh, because I'm on that tool. Duh. Oh
I
God.
killed Walker.
We have so much going on. So, guess what, Jim Jones? You're in luck. You may be poisoning yourself, but you're a dwarf. You take half damage from poison.
Yep.
I'm still probably dead.
On the other hand, the breath weapon, rolls very poorly. You're in luck. It rolled below average.
That's still over half my life in one.
And you still need to make the attack against yourself.
No, I already rolled that
Oh, we already
damage.
did that.
Ah,
Oh shit!
I already did the 1d8 plus 4 damage to himself.
That's over half my life in a single hit.
Technically, you got them in 2 separate hits.
Yeah.
Biting your tongue was 1 hit. Acid breath was a 2nd hit.
I'll take it.
Also, I think they took that out of 5th edition, but we would have to look it up to be sure.
I actually read it a few days ago. It is 100% optional to the GM.
Gotcha. Is it in the player's handbook or one of the other books?
I think it's in the GM's or the Dungeon Master Guide.
All right. While I'm looking that up for my own edification, Martin Luther, it's your turn. There's a dragon flying by. I believe you rolled poorly, so you're not aware of the other guys.
Because I am... You said I was getting drunk
Yes.
from my last... Okay.
It's
Well-
starting to hit you.
There was a certain egg I already don't want anywhere near us because I'm not entirely convinced it will not eat me. And because I am a bit inebriated.
Go on.
I'm gonna do something that most of the party will probably hate me for. Try and persuade it that if it takes the egg, I will not attack it. I will not lay a hand. I do not want anything to do with it. I'm just gonna go ignore its very existence.
Okay, that was different from what I was expecting from you. I was expecting you to go, fuck it, during all of this, I'm gonna run over and kill it.
That's what I was expecting.
I'm just kind of I'm just doing what I would want to do if I was sober, if I was drunk in this situation.
Right.
So I want to get rid of that egg. So I'm gonna try to persuade it.
Just leave us alone, take the egg, it's over there. Kind of a thing.
No, not leave us alone. If you take the egg, I will not touch it. I will look the other way at your very existence.
And is that all you're doing for your turn?
Yes.
You don't want to like grab another. You don't want to try and grab another shot of the brew to keep blacking yourself out and avoiding this reality.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that sounds nice. I'm gonna do that.
I already said I'm cutting you off.
Of the demonic liquor.
Yes. It's my brew.
There must be other.
Are you going to be
There was an
conscious
alcoholic.
of him going to do that when we got surrounded by other stuff?
Well, I think his character is currently unaware of that, so he probably is still guarding the demonic liquor. So Martin is just grabbing up one of Jim's. Jim Jones is next to him. We can safely assume there are bottles of alcohol of a generic sort near Jim Jones.
If there was an alcoholic,
I will let him spend a round drinking a bottle of something.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh. Good job.
I want a zero.
You couldn't do that on the demonic liquor, but no, here.
Maybe that save was so bad it reactivates the demonic liquor already in his stomach.
Do you want to know what I'm doing right now? I'm rolling a check to see whether or not it has any such effect.
Oh,
And
it needs
I was
to.
doing 50 or over, so guess what? It does. Okay, we'll worry about that later.
yes.
So Martin Luther's turn comes to an end, and it comes to Jim Jones, who's aware of what's going on around him and has just had acid breathed on him, resulting in him biting his own tongue and poisoning himself.
So Jim Jones gives himself a little shake, looks up at that big ass, well, that tiny ass dragon in the sky, looking it square in the eye, and pointing to the ground in front of him, in fact, this square. I dropped the command spell to kneel.
And that is a wisdom saving throw of what?
I think
Wow, it's not
I
even
don't
going to
think it
matter what your
matters.
DC is. Does not even matter what your DC is.
oh, that dragon is my little bitch for a minute.
Alright, so on its turn, it will follow that command. What else are you... Is that it for you?
That unless I want to waste a free action, which I have nothing to really use a free action on at the moment.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, no, they're too far away. So, yep, I'm done.
Which brings us to these guys, who have a movement of... That's what I thought. Aww.
They can't get right up on me yet.
So they're both going to use everything they've got to bring themselves into the fray.
Ooh.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh, don't worry, the dragon's grounded. We can kill it. We kill the
I have another idea.
Okay.
Billy, you are no longer unaware of the fact that all this shit's going on around you.
Alright, well, I immediately had the idea of using dragon blood to make a nail, so I'm gonna do just that and try to get some blood from these drakes next to me.
Oh god.
I'm gonna swing at that one.
I agree,
15.
Zal. Mistakes were definitely made. Against which one? Because that is a hit.
Great. The one above me. That's 10 damage.
As you've come to be a little bit used to the blood sort of slurping up the handle as it drains out of the drake, something you're not quite used to, the blade kind of yanks in your hand a little bit towards both Jim and then Martin before you're able to regain control over your own weapon. Like, it's subtle enough that they can decide role-playing wise whether or not they notice, but you definitely notice. I will leave it to them to decide whether or not they have noticed.
Do not stab me, friend.
And are you happy with everything else, such as where you're standing and all that happy stuff? Because you did only attack.
Yeah. If I move here, I could get flanking on the one above me, so I'm just going to move there in my turn.
Remember, we've got a dragon landing here next.
Did I notice the dragon?
You
Or
definitely
did I notice the two things? Did I notice the two things next to me?
You kind of noticed him in aftermath, like you didn't quite notice him flying in, but you definitely noticed him breathing acid on Jim Jones and Jim's reaction. You do not know whether or not the spell was effective, since nobody knows whether or not he saved.
Not only
From a
that, but
technical
I
in-game
can
perspective.
easily move
Step
5
back.
feet over before my next turn, or before my next attack.
Yep. All right. So then it comes to Walker.
All right, so we don't know if the dragon's going to land yet, so that plan is on hold for a second. So, in the interest of saving skin and hide, because those drakes are probably not going to play well with others. Let's see here. I'm going to step away from my normal, burn everything with fire, and I'm going to use a sorcery point to twin a ray of frost.
This is very unusual for you.
Yes, it is.
He's been drinking.
It's got to be the demon liquor.
It does. That's what it is. That's got to be it. All right, so let's.
I still want to see you guys do a beer schnapps approach to this and take your liquor that you've brewed and distill it.
And both of these rays of frost are going right at the one that's right next to me, the drake that's right next to me.
All right.
So there's one, and there's two.
First one's a short sword.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
you rolled a short sword.
Fat fingered that one. Hold on. Hate it when that happens. It's right there in the list.
Oh, you should see Mrs. Ziggy struggle with the buttons. All of
There
her
we go.
ability checks.
Those are both hits,
Oh.
and one of those is a
20.
critical hit.
Sweet. All right, let's do some damage check here.
And for rules lawyers in the chat, I don't really feel like especially when he rolls a 1 on damage, I don't really feel like inflicting the fact that technically as a ranged attack he should be doing these at disadvantage. He's already at enough of a disadvantage being Walker.
Yeah.
The only way he could be worse is if he was Martin.
True.
There we go.
It did something with the crit, but that first one, it just left something to be desired.
I know.
Hey,
That was
you
horrible.
didn't crit miss and hit me instead, so I'm happy.
Very
That's true.
true.
You know, you didn't roll a 0.
Yeah, nobody but Martin Luther has managed to roll a 0 so far tonight.
So far tonight, so far in the entire game.
Yeah, actually, he's the only one that's rolled a critical failure.
Yeah, he's the only one to redefine what it means to fail. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He might
Yeah.
as well not even roll. He rolled the dice, but instead of rolling it, it shot across the room into the drywall.
Yeah. That's actually that. I went to go roll and I just forgot how and just threw it into the drywall.
Honestly, it feels more like he rolled the die and the die disintegrated on the table. It's like, no, you don't even get a die anymore. You're out. You're done. And Thodreen, it's your turn.
That's definitely more applicable.
Like you don't get to play any tabletop game anymore. You have failed so bad at the die.
You fucking failure. Okay. So I did what? Let's see. That's pretty solid. That's
11 damage in total.
Yep.
yeah.
And I'm assuming since you can't safely disengage, you're just staying there, and it moves to Thodreen.
Yeah, I'll stay here. I can't safely disengage. I'll just hopefully not die.
Reptiles are cold-blooded, should do more damage.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh god, Thodreen died.
No, I didn't die. I was waiting to actually hear if everyone else was finished with their did.
I'm done.
I'm just double checking something real quick.
I was afraid to cast a fire spell because if the right things are going, I would have blown the camp up.
And there's still liquor on the ground.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
We don't need another abyssal portal.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Bless, targeting Billy, Martin Luther, and Walker.
Sweet.
So you'll all get 1d4 to attack and saving throws.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Let me move to my spells. Bless.
So it's Billy, Walker, and Martin Luther.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's all I will do.
I'm good.
Alright, so if that's all you're doing, it comes around to the kobolds.
Yep.
I think the kobolds are going to figure, at least those ones are going to figure that it's probably best to stick to the slings. Good God, game, stop lagging
I'd
so
almost
damn
forgot
hard
about
on
those
me.
damn things. Ooh, they closed in the distance. Depending on the dragon's reaction, will determine what I do next.
Jesus. Computer, calm down. It's not that complicated a map.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have
Well, how much crap did you throw on it?
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that one's a miss, but the other 3 are hits.
Oh no. The question is, who were they aiming at? I think it was probably me.
As, ow.
Oof.
As a whole bunch of kobolds start whipping about their slings and unleash upon you, Walker.
I'm getting stoned and not in a good way.
You could just say you're getting shit-faced.
Oh, does Bless allow him to raise his AC?
No, I was just looking. I was looking specifically to see my protection feat with my shield. While wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. So, if I can at least do that for one of the attacks.
All right. I'm going to give you the one, since it gives me 2 rolls, I'm going to take the one that already rolled. I like my players. I'm nice to them. I'm going to choose the one who would have missed. And
You
say
have a
that
very odd definition of the word like.
did
We're
I or
still
did I
standing
not?
after we've
I could have
after we've
chosen.
downed half a cask of demon ichor liquor. We are all still standing. I think that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the fact that I'm standing after somehow getting a 0 on a con save for any alcohol is astounding.
I'd say we're doing pretty damn good. If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead.
Okay, I need to double check something on kobolds. Is it? Oh God, that's cruel. Okay, so that becomes a hit. That's still a miss. That becomes a hit, and that remains a miss. Okay, so the slings coming at Mr. Brewbuckle. Out of them, they managed to hit you twice, using the Drake as a distraction. As bullets come flying at you. The traditional bullets, little pebbles, not these newfangled bullets, which are lead, often with a copper jacket around it. Which brings us to the last monstrous thing on the map. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to use a superiority die on that.
Oh, yay! This won't end badly.
I am so screwed.
Oh, fuck.
What in the hell is that?
Holy crap.
There's another one?
What in the hell are those?
I don't know.
Look like dinner to me.
I'm scared.
You're drunk. You can't be scared.
Yes, I can.
He's blacked out. He won't remember this tomorrow if he survives.
Technically, I'm not blacked out yet.
I feel like one just crushed a tent.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Tents have been crushed. As these things come hauling ass, splayed legs slapping the ground like giant fucking monitor lizards.
Of course they are. Son of a bitch.
Tongues
What
lolling out of their
are
mouths.
those things?
And one of them bites into Walker for
Oh, I think Walker might meet
an
his end.
amazing 4 points of damage.
Oh, thank God.
And the other one, defying the laws of armor class, and the idea that Billy is actually wrapped in equipment that should make him less vulnerable to damage than Walker, gets bitten for 7 points of damage as he really just grinds it in. Half that damage probably actually came from your armor being shoved into you, Billy.
Just for the hell of it, I want to use the superiority die to use my parry action as a reaction.
Alright. So roll your superiority die and add your dexterity modifier to it.
So 1d6 plus 1.
I assume you're rolling it. Okay, so 2
Still.
points saved. I don't want to repeat. Screw you, game. Screw you, random number generator. This is the only reroll I'm giving Martin Luther. Because everybody... Oh. Oh my.
Oh, God.
He got 12.
So, Martin Luther, as you finish chugging down the bottle, well, this might actually be really useful right now.
God.
Of whatever the fuck it is, you can feel it hit your gut and hit all of the demon ichor liquor that's just been lying in wait down there. And it just suddenly surges back through your body. And as you kneel over to start vomiting everything you've had in the past 48 hours back up, wings literally rip out of your back. And you now have disadvantage on stealth checks, but you can fly at a speed of 60.
What kind of wings? Because these kobolds worship dragons.
These are, unfortunately for you, feathered wings that are constantly molting. So with every flap, little featherlets fall off, but they seem to replenish at a sufficient rate to never cease working.
Can I carry someone?
You don't know. You haven't tried, and it's not your turn yet.
So it's like anime aesthetic where he flies, feathers just fall.
Oh, fuck, I'm Hawks.
And Billy takes 22 points of damage for the anime reference. Okay, so the dragon, in accordance with the command it was given, follows the command, and that reminds me I need to roll 1d6 for it. Ah, I would have loved if that had recharged. And about now is when Jim Jones should realize that it doesn't prevent him from following up by biting Jim Jones.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Aw, sucky bite. Wormlings really suck. Oh, wow, and it only speaks Draconic. It can't even try to talk to you in Common.
So it didn't understand the lick of what I said, basically.
Apparently, no. So, Martin, you're regaining your senses. You're starting to feel unfortunately sober, and you have this odd flapping sensation coming from your back as you look over your shoulders and realize that you have wings now.
I'm gonna very quickly look at Billy and just say, look at what the fuck you've done to me.
You're welcome.
Backstab the dragon.
I kind of just want to fly away.
And I fly so far away.
Fly away.
I want to fly away.
I can.
You could technically fly right the hell off the map, using a bonus action to withdraw, thus avoiding opportunity attacks.
Run away after you backstab the dragon.
But then he could only make it 60 feet instead of 120.
Either by 60 feet is pretty significant.
Unless you're dealing with a dragon that can also fly.
So, Adrian?
What's up?
If I grabbed you and flew away, would you be angry?
I would be fucking impressed.
I'm gonna
I am in full fucking plate mail.
I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to
That would be
disengage.
impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Thodrian. Try
Okay,
to grab
so-
Thodrian.
So you are disengaging, attempting to grab Thodrian, and try to fly away. Okay.
That would be a strength check or strength save.
He can only... So he can... To answer something that's brought up in chat. As a rogue, he may dash or disengage as a bonus action, which still leaves him with his full movement plus an action. He can use that action to take the dash action. So you can, in fact, as a rogue, disengage and dash. It just uses up everything you can do. He, however, is using his action to try and grab Thodrian. Give me a strength check.
I don't think I'm gonna do this.
Okay, so... Alright, so you disengage, fly up over the heads of the drakes, grab onto Thodrian by his beard for some reason. I mean, you're just
I'm so
you're just
proud.
reaching out and grabbing. You're still kind of feeling the buzz. And as you start to yank his head back, you also begin to realize just how much a dwarf in full plate mail weighs, and stumble back to the ground, managing to land on your feet nonetheless, and I'll even still give you your action as you come to a hard landing after trying to lift Thodrian out of there.
I'm just gonna scream sorry. So that was 5, 10, 15. So I have 45 feet.
Yep, if you use flight, you can. So you're going to take back off and fly.
Yep. Bye.
Totally man there.
I am a disgrace to immortal. I know this.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm just gonna say sorry, bye, and fly away. And I
This
know
is-
full well that I am a disgrace to my god.
This is why
I was
Lutherans
given-
should never drink.
No, just Martin.
Right.
Just yeah,
be-
I'm playing.
To be fair,
Hey, you're far
Alucard,
enough away now.
Oh,
he
I've
is
poked my head
kind
in
of
there
in
a
a
couple of times.
special
She's just-
place.
sleeping. She's sleeping real good.
That'll be my tone. I'm fleeing.
Jim.
Okie dokie. So just to clarify, I can do the 2 claw attacks and the horn attacks at the same turn, right?
Yes.
And the claw attacks are at proficiency, but the horns are not.
The horns are also actually at proficiency.
Okay, so since I happen to have a dragon right in front of me, and the claws are 1d6.
Yep. Obviously,
Plus one-
first you gotta roll to attack.
So 1 claw attack, that's gonna miss. Second claw attack, that might hit.
Alright, let's see. Ooh, that might hit. That doesn't hit.
All right.
Congratulations, you're flailing at a dragon that
Horn
you
attack.
provided with a convenient line.
Well, that's gonna miss too.
That's gonna miss too.
Well, I guess Jim's done.
Wow, you just completely missed everything. What the hell?
Okay, so Jim is
Hey, my
done.
command spell worked, all right?
Oh, man.
And the dragon is hissing something out that you guys can't understand, which causes this. Actually, he's going to move there. They're not that smart. And then the two drakes are going to take... Oh, they can make both a bite and a tail attack?
Oh, no.
my.
No, don't kill me yet. Do not kill me yet. I have business with the guy that just flew the fuck off.
Oh no, they're all going after they're all going after Mr. Clawy Gory.
Oh, okay.
Miss hit, miss hit.
I want to impose disadvantage on one of the hits.
All
Use up
right.
my reaction.
I mean, in my defense, I did try to take someone with me to safety.
Not much of a defense, since that would have just ensured the other people's death even worse.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm aware of this, but he
Okay,
also
so that
tried
was
to
just
protect
that one is a
me.
hit. So
What I do?
you converted what was a critical hit into a miss.
Yay!
And
Nice.
the other hit still goes through for 5 bludgeoning damage as a tail whaps. Oh yeah, and you should have a red marker to indicate that you're near death. Because you're near death.
Yep.
I need to be able to like do a multicast and lay on hands and just like reach down and pat both their butts at the same time. One with each hand.
Okay, so that brings us to Billy.
I'm going to attack the one between me and Jim. And I gotta open up my sheet a little bit.
Will the party... The party may
Oh.
well survive. Holy hell.
Okay.
12, 14,
19,
18,
21
19,
damage.
21. As you just lay into
Damn
the
it.
Mother Humper.
There it is. Sorry if anything popped up in the chat. That's me. I'm looking at something real quick.
And
Understood.
then how hurt does the one I just hit look?
He's looking severely. He's
All right.
not. He's looking just about as bad as the other Drake that has taken multiple hits.
So I'm going to use my action surge and swing again.
And you feel a slight. The best way you can describe it as you swing again is just the slightest bit of elation running up your sword arm.
Okay. 18
Is a hit.
for 14.
That's a lot of damage. As the Drake starts cowering away and hissing. And does that end your turn, Billy?
That's all I can do, so yes.
Alright, Walker. You have
Oh,
a Drake to the right of you, a giant lizard to the left of you, and kobolds all around.
and I also have a little coward flapping away.
Right, do you just use your
Yes.
scorching rays to kill Martin Luther?
have
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That has crossed my mind with the blessing. Just burn everything, every advantage I have, just to drop that motherfucker out of the sky. That no shit crossed my mind.
Turn him into a fucking phoenix, see if he rises from the ashes.
I mean, I have motion said before.
I'm gonna make it stick this time. I swear. I swear. I'm so close to death. The next attack is probably gonna drop me, so I'm not gonna get another chance at this.
Well, have at it.
I'm actually legitimately curious. Now that bless thing, what does it do? It works on one of the attack rolls if it's gonna miss.
Every attack roll, you add 1d4 to the attack roll.
Okay.
And if you have to make any
Saving
throws,
throws.
it also does 1d4.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna scorch him to death. The scorching rays.
You're going after Martin Luther?
God.
With at least one.
Well, remember that every target of your scorching ray has to be within 30 feet of every other target. So you could knock 3 kobolds out of the fight immediately, or you could knock out 1 giant lizard possibly, or you could knock out Martin Luther.
Downing me.
So the question
Alright,
is, how
assuming
much
we
does...
survive this, I will deal with him then. For now, the scorching rays. You caught a reprieve. We'll stick a pin in this for now. We'll come back to this later.
No. Martin is doing what he does best. He's getting at range so he can use ranged attacks, which is when he does well.
Yeah, that's totally what he's doing. He's not running away. He's tactically repositioning.
He's doing a tactical repositioning. I'm gonna roll a. Hold on. I'm gonna roll perception to see if I can see if that's what's going on.
That'd be insight.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Insight?
more insight than perception, although I do think that
That'd be
uses the
more
same
insight.
check.
Insight. Okay.
You know...
So
Here's what you gather. I did 9/11.
That joke, sadly, given the perception and the insight checks, I can't argue with the joke, as bad taste as it might be.
Yeah.
Now we just gotta put him in a bush.
I mean, I can fall.
So do I have any kind of inkling that he might try to, back us up from a distance?
From past experience, you get the feeling that if it doesn't look like the party is going down in the next 20 seconds, that he'll back you up.
Okay.
But he is still a little chicken shit bitch.
Accurate.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna drop the numbers. I'm gonna take the kobolds. Hopefully, all 3 of the ones behind that giant ass lizard. As much as I want to try to hit him first, but the numbers are gonna screw us if we don't get them knocked down.
Action economy is a very serious thing.
Yep.
I will deal with the little flying chicken later.
We about to
So
have some
going-
chicken wings.
I know. Going clockwise with the 3 kobolds behind
You're
the
going to
lizard.
hit the second and third one.
Even with the blessing?
Oh, right. Roll me the 1d6 or whatever, 1d whatever it is.
1d4?
Roll me the 1d4
1d4,
to
right?
see if that brings your
1d4.
9 up to the necessary number.
Alright. Let's see here. Let me get to that. 1d4.
That's a d10.
What's that? Why the hell
Why
did
does
it
that
roll a
rank-
d10?
No,
Oh.
the second one.
There's a d4. Okay. A 3 is going to bring a 9 to a 12, so that's a hit.
Alright, cool.
So all 3 of them are hits.
Alright, let's do some damage here. Please. Not bad. Let me get back up there. Not bad. And
I'm imagining like that old stage magic gag where it's just a poof of smoke and they're gone.
That's more or less what
that would
happens.
be awesome.
as ash falls away from skeletons and the skeletons fall down. Like it's almost 1940s racist Warner's Brothers-esque. As the beam just hits them, the body goes up in a torch. Full blackface kobold, the ash falls down, the skeleton falls down after.
Sweet. 3 kobolds down. Yeah.
Nice.
So, if that's everything for Walker...
I can't move without attracting an action from 2 things, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
And actually, at your position, it gives me flanking, so...
Flanking isn't a 5th edition thing.
I thought it was.
Thodrian!
I need the ability to heal multiple people at once.
I know, we need just an area of effect to heal me.
I'm like I'm the
chin-
fighter that wants to pretend to heal, and so my healing capability is. I'm sitting here going,
Thodrian?
yeah.
While you're debating your actions, give me a wisdom check.
Oh no.
I was about to say, are we not discussing how much your chin must hurt for having me yank you by your...
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody's not trying to divine smite him out of the air besides me.
What I
did
think
ask.
Thurdrian would want to do at this point is cast Speak with Animals to actually figure out what the fuck these things want!
Yes.
I will readily give the party as just something that they see right out. The rest of these creatures are taking their orders from the dragon. The dragon is too intelligent for you to be able to use Speak with Animals to communicate with. And based off of that wisdom check you just gave me, Thodrian, you... Jim and Walker are in a 15-foot line from a dragon with a 15-foot long breath weapon who was put in that position precisely by Jim Jones.
Shit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. Everyone thanks
The
you.
dragon, not us.
I forgot about that breath weapon completely.
It wasn't me. I'm fine.
You
Hey, I
didn't
have
exactly
resistance to
help.
poison.
I am
No, I
so
did
horribly screwed. I'm gonna
Um,
turn into a puddle of goo on the ground. I know I am.
So, what is my distance?
Wait, I'm
that I
standing
can
behind-
jump?
I'm standing behind 2 dwarves, right?
Hold on. Go ahead, Thodrian.
So, I have the boots of striding and springing. It says, in addition, I can jump 3 times the normal distance. What is my normal distance from standing still?
That should be in the player's handbook. So, as I try to balance books on my knees.
I'm standing behind 2 dwarves. I'm so horribly screwed. I don't have cover from anything. Unless you 2 jump on top of each other, I'm so horribly screwed. I'm gonna catch a full face of this breath weapon from 15 fucking feet away. God, I'm so dead. I hope I can get my save.
182, 190 for jumping,
182?
and 190.
Your blessing is up, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh,
1
no,
minute or
blessing
concentrate. It's 1 minute unless he loses his concentration.
Okay.
Because I found a 5e jump calculator.
When you make it, so it's 3 plus your strength modifier if you move at least 10 feet. Half of that distance if you are jumping from a standing point. So take 3, add your strength modifier, and then multiply it by what the
I can jump 18 feet.
Straight into the air, yes.
Straight
Impressive.
into the air? Or is that as a long jump?
That's
oh,
a high jump.
I thought you wanted a high jump distance.
No,
Like,
no,
what
no,
was
no.
the
a long
peak you
jump
reached?
distance. My ass is gonna get acrobatic here.
When you're making a long jump, you cover the number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. When you're standing from a standing long jump, you can only leap half that distance.
So take your strength, divide by 2, multiply by the number.
Yeah, so my strength
Just your
score is
strength score.
18. So that means I can long jump 9 feet horizontally, multiplied times 3. That means I can jump 27 feet.
Of all the places, I never thought I'd use geometry.
I know. We're edging in on we're edging in on trig here.
Yeah, I know.
So, alright. So, Thodrian, in a spark of, let's say, desperation and or insanity, is going to do a jump, and he wants to end up over here.
Go for broke. Aim for the dragon's back. See what happens.
Keep in mind that will provoke an opportunity attack from one of the guard drakes.
Right.
Unless you use your action to disengage.
No.
I mean, you have the...
Yeah,
I get it. You have the AC to probably soak it. And also that prevents them from targeting somebody else.
Yeah, I don't want to leave Walker, but I need to position myself here, and I want to go for broke and swing at the dragon. So, my Thodrian is going to basically like squat down with his hammer and jump up into the air over and try to come crashing down with his hammer on top of this dragon.
Alright, give me an athletics check, please. Okay. You're able to do it.
Alright.
Basically, depending on how high it was, I was going to add awesome effects.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got high enough to not fail.
Sadness. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and all my extra smitey stuff would drop that, so I don't want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a warhammer.
Definitely a hit. I can already tell you that much.
Alright. So it's gonna be the 6 because I'm not doing both hands.
Right, because you haven't been using your shield to protect people from unwanted drinks.
And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do a smite. So, just trying to look. There it is. So, I can only expend one spell slot at a time, right?
That is my understanding of the intent, at least.
Okay, because I was going to say, I'm just going to burn all of it. that would be a little broken. I'm just going to one-shot the boss.
I'm going to burn everything I have and end this now.
So, that cast at what level? Alright, so 6 plus 11.
Ooh,
17 damage.
Please tell me it stuns him. Please tell me it stuns him. Please tell me it stuns him.
Yes, Zalrock in the chat brings up a good point. It can be any spell level you want to sacrifice.
Well, I'm only level 4. I only got level 1 spell slot.
Fair. So, yeah, that's a hell of a lot of damage. As I go and double-check that rule on page 273 about doing more than half of a thing's damage in a single strike. because if I'm doing my mental math correctly, that's more than half its damage, and it's in a single strike. Okay, just about all of those are mean, but at least it gets a Constitution save before. And it fails the Constitution save, of course. Quick, pour some Really?
Oh.
Oh no.
If I'm remembering this right.
Did you kill it or knock it unconscious? What's your decision?
I didn't realize that was
Wow.
just
It only speaks Draconic, apparently. It can't speak any common language. There's no negotiating with it when it wakes up.
I can harvest its blood, though.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna go ahead and outright kill it.
So Thodrian squats down, launches himself. One of the guard drakes tries to slice into him with his chompers, as he basically pirouettes off of the horn of the other guard drake to land, bring up his shield, and then slam with all of the momentum he's built up his warhammer down into the skull of this dragon, caving it in, and you guys can see the little bits of gray matter burst out. And yes, Jim Jones helped by creating the perilous situation that caused people to take really ridiculously drastic actions, as well as merely bringing him into range, since he was actually going to just fly around in circles sniping you guys while all of his fucking hot fodder actually dealt with the melee problems. So yes, credit to Jim Jones. And honestly, because this was actually how I wrote this out, his critters, assuming you guys don't try to intervene, fucking scatter and bolt. Not one of them is sticking around to do you harm if you don't go and be the vindictive asshole of trying to fight them.
Hell no.
So my only question to you guys is, do you let them run or do you fight them?
Jim has
I'm willing to let them run, to be perfectly honest.
If
I
they're
was
bolting,
Go ahead, Thodrian.
my immediate thing is going to go ahead, or my immediate thing is going to be to rush back into between Jim and Walker and give them both 10 HP apiece.
No, don't waste your touch on that. Now that they're running, I can do prayer healing.
This is where Billy's flaw comes into play. My hatred for my enemies is blind and unreasoning. I have to try to kill some of these.
Billy,
No.
Billy, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Well, you know,
Attack me instead. I win. I was a coward. I was a toadcoat.
So, I ask this question meaningfully. Are your enemies mindless creatures like the giant lizards or the guard drakes, as well as the random kobolds?
Whatever hit me right now is whatever has hit me is my enemy. Whatever is closest to me is a worse enemy.
All right.
So anything I can hit right now, I'm going to try to hit.
In that case, give me an attack roll, because after all, they are fleeing. So the kobolds would be able to run away without it mattering to you, because they would have their turn to move 60 feet. And then the lizards start running away.
Be 1d4, but that'd only bring me up to 13, so I don't think that'd be a hit regardless.
Give me that roll, actually. Yeah. Give me that roll.
1d4.
Because believe it or not, I chose... Congratulations, that's a hit. I chose these enemies because this is actually a fair encounter, Mr. Running Away because he grew wings.
Oh,
I was gonna run away regardless.
And
a fair but challenging one.
alright, then damage for 10. And then let's see.
Because that was your opportunity attack as they started running away.
Hang on. None of these actually give me added damage, only added attack roll. So, yeah, I think that's all I could do.
So, having vented your frustration, are you willing to let the last two guard drakes run away?
If they can try. In all fairness, the party does have a chance to stop me. I mean, it's a conflict between my bonds and my flaw.
So,
Who's
at the
up
very
first to
least-
yell at him?
Well, I'm gonna burn my channel divinity and use or I'm gonna invoke primeval forces to ensnare his legs so he can't run away. He needs to make a strength or dexterity saving throw or be restrained.
And due to the blind anger towards my enemies, he's gonna have to try, and that's a crit fail.
Oh shit!
So yeah, no, you're rooted in place.
So the most he can do... Oh god, he actually goes after the guard drakes. So the guard drakes are able... He used up... Billy, I'm sorry, the mechanics are working against you on this. I do genuinely appreciate your dedication to role-playing, and you do get an inspiration point for it. As does Thodrian for trying to prevent this disaster, so you both get an inspiration point. I'm going to try and get a deck loaded up to do something more interesting than just the burn an inspiration point for 1d6 bullshit. But the important thing for the moment is that because you already used up your opportunity attack, the guard drakes are able to run away like little bitches. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break as we recover from the first Demon Icker Licker inspired battle. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for putting up with my need to take a little bit of a break after my players managed to completely disappoint me with how drunk they got. Namely, I wanted... Why did everybody who had a bad Constitution saving throw succeed? The only person who really got fucked was Jim Jones.
That's because he went back.
And that was because he just kept going back to that barrel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you really say I got a bad Constitution save? I think I got the worst possible con save.
But at the most irrelevant time. I mean, you got a bad con save when you drank some fucking cheap whiskey that he happened to have on his belt. And yes,
one of the best abilities.
for the record, Jim Jones, I do assume that you just have random liquors you've managed to come across, like half full bottles or whatever, that you've just strapped to your belt. As long as you don't want it to be anything of quality, you can safely assume that you have liquor at hand. It is the GM's headcanon.
Billy wants to harvest some blood from this dragon.
You actually have a almost perfectly intact wormling corpse, because literally only one hit ever landed.
Sweet. Well, let's see what we can do with this.
Which brings up an
Well, how much is a
interesting
wormling
question, Martin
corpse
Luther.
worth?
Having seen how your friends, whom you abandoned, have managed to completely clear the field, what do you do? After having completely abandoned every single religious principle you ever believed in.
I mean, to be fair, is that not what religious people normally do?
Harsh. A little harsh there, man.
Fine. Is that not what they normally do when something like that happens?
No, they double down and get
They
on their
always
knees and
double
pray
down.
like you have multiple times in this campaign.
They also have just routed fucking wings. If I didn't
I
probably,
called it. I
probably-
knew it. I knew he was gonna bolt on us. I fucking knew it. As soon as those
That just
wings
makes you
sprouted
feel
out of
more
his back,
badass if you have wings.
I knew
Oh.
one of two things was gonna happen. Either he was gonna fly up into the air and come down like a badass, or he was gonna fly up into the air and run away like a little fucking coward.
I was gonna say this doesn't bode well for his journey on his assassin.
I know. And for the record, my apologies to Alucard. I hadn't noticed his message in the Discord that he had stepped away.
Ah,
But he didn't really miss much. We were just discussing what to do with the corpse and what a fucking pansy Martin Luther is. The only thing that might be relevant to Alucard was my pointing out that the GM's headcanon is that Jim Jones's constant palling around with people who are enjoying things and whatnot is that he pretty much has constant access to low quality to medium quality, generic, if you will, mid-shelf liquor of any sort. If he wants to say, oh yeah, I pull a bottle of blended scotch off my belt, okay, that makes sense for him to just have. You don't need to worry about the gold for that.
I'm down with that.
I am going to land somewhere
Oh
over
no,
here.
keep running, Martin.
And... oh, those again, like, hey, I tried saving you. Please don't help me.
Jim Jones, pointedly ignoring Martin, is just going to healing prayer and include everyone in the party except for Martin.
I mean, to be
There
fair,
we
I
go.
don't
Not for a. You won't hear in a minute.
I mean, I don't really need the healing.
Sure, but the point is the snub. The point is the snub.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I will accept that. I mean, plus, I also imagine I'm being sub because I stole alcohol from him.
That is also true. That goes above and beyond.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I Jim Jones, I may have stolen alcohol from you. So, wait, why am I not?
You were simply joining
I wouldn't be
in
like,
the
yo.
hedonistic tendencies. You're obeying your emotion. That's okay.
I don't want to be moved
But
closer.
it's still bedtime for you because you ran like a little pansy shit.
Pointedly ignoring Martin Luther, Jim Jones just starts butchering the dragon corpse.
Hey, I need some blood, dammit. After I get blood, I'm curious. Does Martin still have his wings? Because I'm about to have dinner off of him.
Yes, I still have. Well, oh God, whoa, my wing symbol.
The wing symbol went away because you said you landed.
Oh, okay.
The wing symbol was my way of indicating a flying character.
Okay. I
But
thought
yes.
that indicated my wings went away.
Everybody who has a weird fucking status effect from the demonic liquor still has a weird fucking status effect from the demonic liquor ichor.
Okay.
That is a tongue twister.
Demon liquor ichor.
How do you think I chose that name? It's fun to say.
Just to prove a point, I'm going to throw a ray of frost at disadvantage because I'm going to deliberately not try to hit him.
Watch you get 2 nat 20s. Oh no, 12. Okay,
Congratulations, because you went with disadvantage, you missed.
Good.
Only because you went with disadvantage.
It was one of those idle flicks, like, boy, I could just...
I honestly feel a little disappointed in that Walker hasn't set anything on fire yet. But, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, my headcanon is that this whole big bonfire we're around was set on fire by Walker.
I started the bonfire.
I will accept that headcanon.
It was always burning since the world was turning.
We didn't
I'm actually
start
curious
fire.
how much damage...
It was Walker all of the time. Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm curious how much damage I would have done if I'd have hit. Yeah.
Zal, yes, he could have hit by using. Zal would like to point out, Walker, that you were still under the effects of Bless, and therefore technically had plus 1d4 to your 12 attack roll.
So my attempt to miss did indeed fail, and I did actually hit him. So he does actually need some healing now.
You have to roll the d4.
Do you want to roll the d4? That is your option. How vindictive are you feeling?
Should I? Really should? Yes, I should. I should roll the d4. I should, just to prove the point.
He's gonna want to do. It's a 50% chance. Yes.
He's saved by the RNG.
Upon almost being hit, I am going to lie down here.
Fuck it, passing out wherever the hell I fall.
Run.
If that's the case, I'm just gonna hit the tent and pass out.
Good enough.
As people from the rest of the camp start kind of coming over like, what the hell? Holy shit, why do you have horns? Like, they come over concerned about what happened, and then they see these people.
With a dead wormling.
I'm just bleeding this thing.
Enthusiastically, dragon blood dripping off his claws, which he's using to skin the dragon.
There's a dragon being butchered. Okay, that's pretty normal for adventurers. But one of the adventurers has wings. One of the adventurers' head exploded. One of the adventurers has fangs, claws, horns, and is surrounded by a fucking field of energy.
Thanks for all the disfigurements, by the way, because with all those, it's very unlikely that the dragon cult will even recognize us.
Now, once I get my blood, I kind of just want to take that demon sword and stab the dragon, because it seems to like eating blood.
After you have exsanguinated the dragon, Give me a percentile roll.
All right. I gotta move my sheet real quick. There we go.
It's just a percentile roll.
No,
Nothing off your sheet.
it's because I keep my sheet on the left side, and it kind of blocks the little toolbar.
Look, I have a setup that lets me do everything, so I'm spoiled.
I'll trade you.
If most of my keyboard worked, I'd show you a screenshot of what I'd work with.
Roll me an attack roll.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm concerned.
Ooh.
So you lash out to stab the dragon, but your sword oddly veers away from the dragon corpse that's been exsanguinated and has no blood left in it towards Jim Jones.
Ooh.
And with that attack roll, hits Jim Jones.
And that's going to require damage roll.
Oh,
You just
it's a,
stabbed me.
it's a demon blood blade. Jim Jones has how much?
We are
demon
ignoring
blood in him?
since this was unintentional on your part, we are ignoring the fighting style portion of the damage. But yes, we are going to require the rest of that damage.
No.
Okay.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
15 damage.
Yeah. Ooh, that's solid.
So are we going to acknowledge the fact that it probably went to Jim Jones because of how much demon blood he has in him?
That's probably really likely.
Oh. So upon that, Jim Jones will look up at Belair. I'm work. Yeah. Comrade, I work as fast as I can.
Shit.
Literally, Billy, to you, it feels like the sword slipped in your hand and turned towards Billy. Or, sorry, towards Jim. And slashed him open, and you can feel something drawn from him through the sword and into you.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Am I going to have
That
to make a
can't be
will
bad.
save or something?
Pro
That'll-
tip, don't try to stab dead things with it.
I actually want to maybe possibly what would I have to roll to even approach figuring out what the hell's going on here?
Give me either an Arcana or a Religion check.
Let's see here. Which one is higher?
As the rest of the fucking campsite wants to know what the fuck is going on with you fucking freaks. Including your employer, Walker. Athletics
That's
is not
athletics.
the right check.
That was damn it. Sorry. Roll, damn it. There we go.
Billy just wants to say he's trying to feed his sword.
Well, I failed my wait, I still rolled at a disadvantage, so I guess take the 20.
Yep, I take the first roll.
Alright.
Let's see. What was your question again, Walker?
If I have any idea why the hell that blade just seemed to just seek out the most disfigured among us.
Okay, so and this also goes to Jim Jones because he did have a good religion check and it really is an intuitive question. Billy is wielding the Demon Ichor blade. Jim has been pounding the Demon Ichor liquor.
It was right. He has
Let's
so
get
much
liquor
demon
back.
blood in him.
So in character, we now know that it's seeking out that demon ichor liquor.
You don't know for certain, but it's the suspicion you have is that there's something about the Demon Ichor liquor for you and Jim, and in fact, Thodrian, if you would like to make a religion or arcana check, whichever is better for you, since you were right there. Okay, so for Walker and for Jim Jones, you have a certain amount of a feeling that this blade and the demonic liquor might have some kind of a mesh going on. There might be something, and there.
All right. Well, as for my employer, I'm going to. I get a bonus to persuasion saving throws, don't I? Or persuasion in
Was
general.
it a bonus or was it a penalty?
I think that was the bonus because I got a penalty to concentration, and I got a penalty.
No, you're
to...
right. You're right. You're right. It's a bonus on persuasion checks because you can because you have the smarts, quote unquote,
Yes.
in a very loose
Great.
ways, to come up with the better lie.
So for my employer, my persuasion, and I still rolled it a
But we have the
I
two
need to
numbers. We
change
just
that.
have to know to take the 22.
All right. So with my employer, I'm just going to tell him this is why you don't take alcohol from strangers. Don't worry.
You big wound time.
I'll be good in the morning.
How did
We
my
killed a dragon. Go back to sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
I'm not even going to ask how my Dungeon Master's Guide ended up half a room away from me. We're just going to roll with it. Just rolling with it.
And
I think it followed my cowardice and also ran away.
You know, sir, I know I hired you as my captain of my guard, but, sir, I do, feel obliged to remind you that I am a certified lawyer and public accountant, not only in Baldur's Gate, but Waterdeep, Daggerford, and various other cities along the Sword Coast. And so, if you need to file a class action suit about, your head condition and your friend's, conditions,
enthusiastically.
As he visibly chokes down his own gorge.
There you go.
I can provide
take it in.
perfectly reasonable rates if you find yourself in need of recompense against whomever happened to brew this drink, which you were unfortunately subjected to the imbibement of.
That's
Have a good evening, sir. As he sprints
there you go.
away from you.
there we go. All right.
I have a distinct.
He didn't
feeling
fire
that
me,
he
so that's good.
never-
Hold on, let's hear from Rise.
I have a distinct feeling he didn't see the half destroyed tent with me just sleeping on it.
He kind of sprinted past that, and let me check. Let me go ahead and check.
I'm hearing a by the 9.
Yeah, no, he didn't really see it, but about as he passed it is when he lost control of his gag reflex. So you're going to wake
not
up a little
before
bit.
it.
Sorry,
He had to go past it.
Well, as I said, the rest of the camp is that way.
Shit.
Well, I'm asleep. It doesn't really matter if he lost his gag reflex.
Did he puke on? Did he puke on? Did he puke on Martin?
He did, in fact, puke on Martin Luther.
Yes.
Yay.
You wanted something, didn't you?
And you know what the best part
what's
of this
gonna be his reaction to seeing the wings? I want to know that.
He didn't see them. He was too busy sprinting past you.
If he threw up on me, he would have.
It was a running. It was a running.
No, you
running
know,
gag.
Walker, even going beyond that, and also we are losing one of our players, and we are honestly running up on a good closing point. but
Yeah.
we will wrap this up before we go. I will just say, as somebody who has experience with vomiting, you don't always see what you're aiming at.
No, you don't.
Sometimes it
That's
just
fair.
happens.
That's fair.
And
I would
with
have liked to know his reaction to Waze, though.
And I am watching this whole thing. I'm watching my employer run away, and I see it happen, and I'm just sitting there like, yes, got him.
Got something!
So, with having lost Jim Jones due to time and whatnot, we are going to call it a night. We have run for 2.5 hours. Shocking.
All right.
I will note, for those who are here, none of your disfigurements are permanent. However, we are going to have to roll some checks next time we meet up.
Ooh.
Because you've been downing highly addictive alcohol.
Oh no.
God, I'm gonna be an alcoholic because I just wanted to black out.
Oh, it's gonna do this to us every time. Wait, are we gonna be addicted to specifically this, or?
You'll find out next
Oh,
time
damn it.
on
All
Hoarding
right.
Dragons. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good night.
All right.